Well, hello there, folks. Welcome to this video. The video is called The Secret Source of Skill Development. The secret source of skill development, aka scaffolding. Scaffolding, right? Now, if you are a trainer in the workshop environment and maybe you are a trainer in Australia, maybe you're a corporate trainer, maybe you're a personal development trainer, any kind of trainer that works with people to help them develop skills, you need to get very familiar with this concept of scaffolding. Now, you may have heard of the word in an academic sense, or you may have heard a teacher around you say, "Oh, it's good scaffolding, scaffolding," right? And you may go, "Huh, what the hell is that?" Right? But here's the thing, folks. Great trainers are doing scaffolding, but they may not even be aware of it. And you may look at an amazing presenter, trainer like Benjamin Harvey from Authentic Education, or Tony Robbins, or anyone else that you can think of at a very high level, and they're actually using scaffolding, and they've taken it from the teaching capacity, but they're not going to say, "Okay, I'm now doing some scaffolding." They don't do that, right? But what you need to appreciate is the great trainers and presenters, they're very aware of the concept of scaffolding, but they're not going to talk about it, right? Now, scaffolding is basically the process of layering in, layering in, layering in, layering in, layering in, layering in. Can I say it one more time? Layering in higher levels of difficulty, but not too fast, because if you push people too fast, too quickly, and too far, and too high expectations, they crash, right? So essentially, scaffolding is we are creating building blocks of skill development. Okay. Now, here's the thing, folks. If you strategically do this, then everybody's going to be able to come along the journey with you and develop the skills that you're going to impart in them, right? So let me give you a very clear example. If I was going to teach you to do public speaking, right? And I said on day one, okay, day one, this afternoon, you guys are going to do a 1 hour presentation with no notes at all, right? Now, whenever I ask people, how would you feel if I said that, most people say, "Oh, a little bit nervous." Other people say, "Freaking out." Other people say, "Oh my gosh, there's no way I could do it," and running out the room, right? But if I said to other people, if I said to people, let's scaffold it, right? So let's imagine, okay, today we're going to do a 30-second presentation. Then we're going to do a 1 minute presentation. Then we're going to do a 1 minute and a half presentation. Then a 2 minute presentation. Then a 2.5 minute presentation with notes, with notes. Then a 3 minute presentation without notes. Then 4 minutes. Then 5 minutes. Then 6 minutes. Then 10 minutes. All right. So by the end of day one, we're doing a 10-minute presentation now. Day two, we're going to go a 15-minute presentation. Then we're going to do a 20-minute presentation. Then a 30-minute presentation, right? Then next day. And slowly, incrementally, by the time we get to Friday, let's imagine on Friday, we've pushed out our 1 hour presentation of Friday. Highly likely, if we did those incremental steps and we scaffolded the process, by the time we got to Friday, probably you would have the confidence, self belief, the skills, the knowledge, and the structure to be able to deliver your presentation powerfully, right? So that is essentially layering in, and raising the level of difficulty just slightly each time, right? Now, great trainers, presenters, coaches, facilitators out there that you consider great are great because they're able to do that, and they've got an intuitive sense of how far they can push you before the system crashes, right? So they're going to challenge you a little bit, but they're going to support you along the journey as well, right? Too much challenge, people eject. Too much support, people don't push themselves far enough and get the development or the advancement they're really looking for, right? So another couple of examples of this are, for example, the movie Karate Kid. Karate Kid! Mr. Miyagi was an expert at scaffolding, right? Let's put some languaging around what the Mr. Miyagi was actually doing. You see, he was getting Daniel-san to, and I'm talking about the original here, folks. If you're a Jackie Chan fan, yeah, he did something very similar. He put, pick up the jacket, put it on the thing. Pick up the jacket, put it on the thing. I was not a huge fan of that one, but another topic, another day. Yeah. Mr. Miyagi, he was the master, right? So he got Daniel's son doing all the different things and, waxing the floor, washing the cars, wax on, wax off, all that fun stuff. Pick the fence, paint the fence, right? All of that was layering in skills and scaffolding Daniel to the point where something happened and he was able to respond. All right. So he was scaffolding and he didn't say, "Hello, Daniel, we're going to scaffold some skills for you," right? But, well, what a weird thing. Anyway, he did that. And when push came to shove, he was able to respond appropriately. And he had those skills ingrained in him, right? So, Mr. Miyagi, scaffold king, go, Mr. Miyagi, right? Now, another thing to think about is how far do you push people? Now, if you're interested in the science around this, there's a book called The Rise of Superman. Now, that is written by Stephen Kotler, and he is a phenomenal author who's written about the flow state, how we help people get into the flow state, or what's the science behind the flow state. And that was for extreme athletes, right? People that jump out of airplanes and do crazy stuff, right? And he was saying, based on the science, when people are in that stretch moment of 4% more, I don't know how he came up with the 4%. You can read the book and find out. I've forgotten that. But anyway, read the book, tells you that. And he found that if you push people 4% more than they're normally used to, that's when they're in that flow state and they're able to take in the most and be at their optimal state, right? But let's just dial all the way back, right? So if you are teaching a skill such as leadership or such as, I don't know, sales or any kind of skill at all that you can think of, any skill at all, essentially, if you can get extremely good at making the things a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder, a little bit harder each time, but never making it so hard people crash, then you are going to be the master trainer, right? And what you want to do each time, so you do the thing, then make it a little bit harder, then you're going to come back and reflect, right? You're going to ask the group and you're going to get them to share with each other. All right, cool. What did you discover? What did you realize when you did that activity? Okay, cool. And now, as we did that the second time, what's getting easier for you? Okay, cool. And then you do it again. And what's getting easier for you as we do it? Or where are you feeling even more confident when we're doing that, right? So what we're doing is we're kind of raising the bar, and then we put some bolts on that bar by doing self-reflection. Then we raise the bar, then we put some bolts on that to layer in the foundations and keep it strong level there and everything solid base, right? So we're raising it, put the bolts on, raise it, put the bolts on. The metaphor of scaffolding works there, folks. So anyway, watching this video because great trainers are great at scaffolding, but you just don't call it scaffolding, and it's just so ingrained in how they do things, right? So just want to leave you with that thought. And if you ever see a student, participant, audience member struggling, it's typically because hasn't been enough scaffolding, hasn't been enough structure and bolt on. So essentially, people need to feel guided along the journey, challenged, but supported as well. So on the note, folks, hope you got some value from the video here. Scaffold, 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 scaffold. The better you get at this, the more people will go, whoa, that guy, that gal, she's different, right? And definitely you can find out more of these things in my book. And you can check that out for more of these secret sauce tips for training and presenting, which is really cool. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel, and scaffold your way to success. Sounds like a good catch line. Oh, anyway. But anyway, speak to be remembered, have the impact you want to have, and I hope you have an amazing training journey as you implement some of these ideas from the channel. Thanks for watching, team. Bye for now.